Hi, this is Olga from hbuddy.com. In this video I will show you how to sew mitered corners and how to bind a quilt with mitered corners. Or better to say, how I miter a corner. I started to do some quilting quite recently. For many years I was mostly sewing clothes and made embroidery. So I made this table runner for Easter and needed to miter corners on this runner. I knew how to do it because I was always using this technique to sew skirt slits and coat facings, for example. But I decided to check how professional quilters sew mitered corners. To my surprise, everybody was doing it differently than what I do. So, check now how I sew mitered corners. Maybe you will like this simple method and use it for your projects. I am doing self-binding for my Easter table runner. For this, I cut the back fabric bigger than the top. I decided to make it bigger by 7.5 centimeters all around. By the way, if you like to use the imperial system and measure in inches, use one of these measuring tapes that has inches on one side of the tape and metric on the other. Look, 7.5 centimeters is 3 inches. So I will fold it over the top of the table runner and bind the raw edges, but also it will be an additional decor for the runner, right? That's why I made it so wide. And it will be a really quick way to finish the project. For this video I decided to take the top out and sew 2 of the 4 mitered corners just on the back fabric, so it will be easier for you to see the method. Step 1. Fold the corners together so the raw edges line up as I'm doing now. Right sides of the fabric together. Align the edges very well. Now we need to draw a line exactly perpendicular to the raw edges line. For this, find points on the folded line and on the raw edges line where the length of that line is exactly 7.5 centimeters. That was the number I wanted to use for my binding. If you wanted to use a different number, you can do it also. Use a disappearing marker or another marking method that will not damage or stain the fabric. Fold the fabric along the line drawn in previous step. Align raw edges as I'm doing it here. Mark the fabric along the folded edge and draw another line. This line has to be exactly perpendicular to the folded edge. Find a spot on the mark line where the length of a perpendicular to the raw edges line is equal to the length of the seam allowances, 1.5 centimeters in my case. And mark the point. This is our stitching line between these 2 points. Do the same with another corner. It's really very simple and fast, but it's not easy for me to describe it in words. But I hope you see how I'm doing this. pin along this line to hold your fabric together so it doesn't move while you sew. Now sew over the mark lines. You can start at the fold and sew towards the edge of your fabric, or start from the edge point and sew towards the fold. It doesn't matter. What matters is securing the stitches in the beginning and in the end. Now cut the excess fabric, leaving a quarter of an inch seam allowances or 5-6 millimeters. Trim the corner seam allowances, but be careful not to cut the corner itself. The purpose of the cuts is to remove excess material that would make folding and pressing difficult. Well, this is a preview of how it will look like after we press everything. Now we need to press the seam allowances open. For this you will need a point presser. Otherwise I don't know how you can press these small seam allowances. I will put a link under this video where you can buy a point presser if you don't have one. Seams look much nicer when they are pressed, right? Now turn corners right side out. And here we have our perfect mitered corners. We have to fold edges to make the final binding. Mark the 7.5 cm seam allowances along all edges, fold the fabric in and press, and insert the top into the prepared backing. I did show you how to make two mitered corners using just the baking fabric. Now I will show you how to sew other two corners with the top fabric already inside. Pin the top to the backing, or you can baste it. We are going to repeat exactly the same steps. Mark a perpendicular line, fold along this line, mark the new line, and stitch, cut, and press. Now tuck the raw edges in, 1.5 centimeters in my case. Pin and press, and top stitch all around using a walking foot, so your layers will not shift. Or you can use a rotary even foot if you have one. Don't know what it is? Check out my tutorial on using the rotary even foot. You can find all the necessary links under the video. So, what do you think about this method? So simple, right? Are you going to use it?